Discretion is advised.
There's all kinds of technical issues happening today. Well, happy Monday. You are listening to a very late listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 115. It is 4th of July. There's fireworks going on in the backyard. The dogs are barking. Jerseys are happening. It is a day to be live with us today. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Northern American Arena, I think it's Cup 2 highlights that we just had. We're going to be giving a beta key away sometime during the show for Legion, and we are going to be breaking down the Q&A PvP with Holinka that happened this week. I'm super excited about a lot of stuff that they did talk about, but we have that and much, much more, so stay right here.
In the World of Warcraft trade chat, troll-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Azeroth, the dedicated players who call out these asshats are members of the elite squad known as the PWNCAST podcast. These are their story.
It's that time once again where I reflect quietly every day and wonder if I'm going to unmute these guys. I guess I have to since they are here. Well, Me and Sauce are here on our holiday. The other two are not American, so it's not a problem. But I will unmute them. I will unmute them. They are here. Well, I'm hearing myself, maybe.
You heard nothing.
Secret sauce.
I heard something. Guys, we do apologize for being late. I hate being late. You hate being late. We all hate being late. We just had technical difficulties that we were trying to work out before the show, and there are bombs bursting in air behind us.
America just happened, that's why.
Yeah, just things are happening. You might notice that we are down at Lycan. He is off enjoying the 4th of July festivities with the rest of the family, so we're going to give him the night off, and we're going to continue to
I'm out of here.
Sauce, I'm very, very proud of him. He planned his entire day around the show, and that's how you know when it's yours, right? When you take ownership of something, that's how you know it's yours, when you plan your whole life around your one day.
Lost sleep, did a bunch of stuff first thing.
I saw you were doing
lady,
things.
came home, took a nap, got yogurt, came back in time.
That's right.
Yogurt.
We are going to be doing a beta key giveaway throughout, sometime throughout the show. We gave one away on Twitter before I do the intros. We gave one away on Twitter, and some jerk was like, "Oh, somebody you follow won." Okay, am I not allowed to follow people? I don't understand what your situation is. He's like, well, all of the PWNCAST people follow this person. And I'm like, okay, I don't understand what's happening. So it is a random picking when this happens. There's a Twitter add-on that picks your retweets. I don't have control over who gets pulled. Jackass. I blocked him. I was like, you could start off.
Can I win this one, though?
No, you actually are not eligible to win. Only
I win this one?
No, you cannot. All of you already have it.
Better odds for all of you watching, though, right?
But I did bring the shaman who looked like a saber-toothed tiger earlier, and I think it's because he just woke up. Huge bloke.
Yes.
What? How come? Are we talking like X-Men Sabretooth?
Yeah,
Yes.
your hair was sticking straight up in your teeth.
Yeah.
You were looking like...
I'll tell you what, there's a reason I'm wearing a hat. Don't you worry. John Travolta, like Saturday Night Fever style shenanigans going on under this. Like, I was not like Secret Sauce, and I was not as prepared to come visit everyone today. I was dealing with many things, including poop explosions and screaming babies.
Best.
I look like
My
a bum
hair
up
and
until
makeup
about
is
3
the
minutes
last
ago.
part.
So this all just happened in 2 seconds.
I like how you Clean picked
up
on the
well.
fact that you brushed my hair, let alone I haven't done my makeup either.
I did also bring the monk who's going to move to the USA so he can join. What is your team? The Golden State Warriors? Is that your...
Oh my god. You've known someone almost your whole entire podcast
I know you're a
life.
Raptors fan, but I don't...
Yeah. Oh, so you're talking about some of the news today that you heard and thought you'd be able to bond.
I
Look,
know,
I've known you my entire podcast
I took advantage
career.
of that moment, and I thought we were going to be able to connect, but clearly I missed my mark. Not shocking, Belle. Not shocking.
Yeah.
Toronto Raptors #1, KD signs the Warcraft show, playing lots of beta.
The world of GymCast. If
There
you
you
guys
go.
are
World of
privy,
GymCast.
if you guys are privy to his weekly postings of the World of GymCast, you guys are in for a real treat because he Those are
I take pictures of myself, and I have to make sure I have 4 different hats on. And then when I do, and I like the pose, then I will make 4 different shots and cover up these guys because it's all about Jim sometimes.
There you go. Fair enough.
I did also bring the priest who has it. Is that a new hat? I didn't have intros today, guys. I'm just improvising. I'm not even gonna lie here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys because I don't have to. We're that close.
1776, girl.
Oh, did you guys hear that? Do you hear?
Know your history.
You don't hear the bombs bursting in
That,
air.
like,
The
I
SWAT
hear my
team
own.
is over here also, guys. You're in for
Yeah.
a real treat. We got canine unit over here. Something's happening.
Meow.
Well, what happened in 1776? Like, is that just a random number or something?
Yeah, basically.
I'm trying to remember my history, and I'm trying to figure out if there was a moment.
American history
Yeah.
that everyone-
Sam should know this. You two.
I don't know who Sam is. Who is she?
Yeah. Her, AKA Belle.
Yeah.
I'm still tired. I
Somebody
fucked up
said
dick.
on our Facebook, I see
Yes.
Belle everywhere. It's such a basic name or average or something. I was like, I promise you I'm anything but. I try not to be offended.
An average raider.
You know, I just want to say
But
that
a
it's been a
great peep
long freaking day, so I'm a little loopy. I've been doing a lot of work in beta, and I'm exhausted. But for those of you that are in the chat, if you want to feel free and go to the PWNCAST page and share that post to see if we can get, some people in here to get them to give away a beta key. I'm waiting for more so that I can do more contests. I want to be able to give away crap. But let's talk about some of the news that we had. Did any of you get a chance to watch the NA qualifiers this week with the main man Van Rookie and Lore and Justin? They were all there.
Oh yeah, I did not watch any of it because I was
I would
playing
have
beta.
loved to, but I was at work.
'Cause you
Nice
have a
guys.
jail
What
bait.
happened? Tell us.
Well,
what
here's
happened?
what
We
I
know
want to
you
tell
watched
you.
it.
I
so
did,
We know you
right?
watched.
Now,
inform us.
Now the problem here is I like several teams, okay? And this sucks for a person who likes several teams because of individuals that are on the team, right? So you have Temple Storm. Temple Storm is Jamili. You have Method, obviously. Method needs, they're just Method. But Method has got an interesting thing going on now. So Rook is not on the team this year because he's choosing to do casting. Did you
heard
guys
that one.
hear that?
I heard that.
No, play it cool. We
Bombs
didn't have
are
any
bursting in air.
America.
Oh, that was. I thought you dropped something
No,
actually.
there's bombs. There's ramparts. We watched. This stuff's happening.
I know we were comfortable with each other, but that's not what that sounded like. And then I'm thinking, shit, this show just took a real quick
It's
turn.
really scary right now. That's, want to know why? Because in my town right now, the normal fireworks are going on, and because I live where I choose to live is like a rural, it's like farm country. So there's like one spot in the whole town, and you can go outside right now and see the whole spot of the fireworks. We don't partake in the fireworks because it's hot. It's like 120 degrees outside. Nobody wants to take their children outside with
It's like 112.
other people's bad children screaming and crying.
But
and,
it's okay to set fire to stuff.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of parents want to take their children outside to the fireworks.
No, not in the heat. Have you ever taken children when it's hot?
I don't hang out
You
with
don't have
children.
kids. You have like a dog, right?
The only children I hang out with
brother.
are in game. Yeah, the children
Your
that I
PvP friends.
babysitting.
So, Method brought in a new guy on the roster. His name is Bean Slayer. They call him Officer Bean. Bean is a feral druid, and let me tell you, there's not a whole lot of ways to impress me in a lot of things. I was super impressed because there were times when he carried the team. And this is no dig at Sea-Doo. This isn't a dig at Snuts. This isn't a dig at anybody else. This was literally like he was like a one-man wrecking crew in this. If you had the privilege of watching it, like he was just tearing things up. Smexon is their warrior, and they had him for a few maps. And typically, the comps that you see a lot is RMD, right? That's kind of the main
The
comp that
Rogue
you
Mage
go. Yeah, then you have FLS. Like there's a lot of the same basic comps that you always see on that higher tier. And Rogue Mage Druid is a really, really good comp. Now, Method struggles against a comp called Jungle Cleave. So it's a hunter, it's a feral, and I think it was the shaman. I don't really remember. It was a shaman, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they struggled really hard. Anytime they went, they gave it the good effort. They did their thing. They won some, they lost some. But at the end of the day, they're moving on to the tournament. But they didn't win the cup, which is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that win. There was a gut-wrenching moment where Snuts went down, and Snuts is a warlock, so naturally, even though he's Affliction, I'm rooting. Snuts went down, and I'm like, no, you lost everything! It was very, very back and forth. A lot of good teams. They had two Rets. I don't remember the comp that they played. I want to say one of the comps was Jungle Cleave. They were not, in fact, 2 Ret Paladins, but yeah.
It'd be a terrible team.
It was a really good cup.
That Feral Druid that you liked, was he like a silent, deadly killer?
So he was really, really good at his job.
Should have called him Mr. Bean then.
They call him Officer Bean. You're so stupid. They call him Officer Bean. Like, that's the way that they call it. Now, the funny thing I want to point out is the shoutcasting scenario. So typically what happens is they have 4 of them and they rotate 2, right? That's pretty typical. It's usually Lore, it's usually Justin, it's usually Venruki, and then a random wild card. So they had this guy from Splice. I don't know if it's me, but like Venruki looked totally uncomfortable next to this guy, and I don't know, this guy was kind of throwing little digs at Method, so I was thinking maybe like I was picking up on like an underlying like hate. I'm not really sure, but they looked, and then there was 3 of them at one point, which is really awkward when you have 3 men in that close proximity without giving them proper desk space. It's like, you know, there's a lot of
city.
Yeah, there's a lot.
What's
of
the big deal? Look at the 3 of us right now. We're so close and we're comfortable. Have you seen
Lore's hair? Like, Lore's hair literally has its own section of the desk, and
I'm fairly certain he uses Soul Glow.
They just had they had them in real
head and shoulders,
real close proximity. But it was really, really good back and forth. Method did well. They didn't do what their capabilities are, and I mean, Cito was pretty honest about that on Twitter.
Those fireworks. God bless America.
So freaking rude. Either that or it was gunshots, and my neighbors might need me to call 911.
It's fireworks.
I have fireworks.
Silent but deadly.
Gunshots will be later.
The chat is great. We are looking at the next set of the qualifiers, which not 100% sure on when the next set of the qualifiers are. That's my bad for not knowing that in advance. Let me see if I can get you guys a date. But you can watch the like 10 hours. It was a really long, like, and I was watching it on my phone, going everywhere, doing all my things. You can watch it.
I pictured you with a bunch of empty, like, energy drinks, like, chilling out in the dark.
Yeah, okay, so the Cup 3 is going to be July 16th. And then I think there's another, like, Grand Poobah final something in October. And then you have your BlizzCon tournament, which, that's my favorite part of BlizzCon, as we found out last year.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Well, here's why. Because when you're watching a tournament, it's always better when you're live because everybody's amped up and you're like, you're hyped.
Like any type of event. It's so much better when you're actually present.
Last year I screamed. I was literally screaming, and that was when I was on, like, I was Team Cloud9. Like, I was super happy about, like, representing Cloud9. And then now I'm not sure who I'm going to go for, to be perfectly honest with you. Obviously it's going to be Method because I got to support Rook's team, but I don't know, Temple Storm.
I'm a little bit hurt that that's your favorite part of BlizzCon. I mean, I would have just.
Okay.
I'm just throwing it out there, but I would have thought that maybe a DigCon party.
You're right.
Like, twerk-offs in the foyer. Or,
right.
I'm trying to qualify for the Pet Battle MLG tournament. No support. I can't get a sponsor. Like,
look, on behalf of Tim Tams Australia, Jimmy Banks, I'll go ahead and sponsor you for that one.
I don't think. I can't imagine. I think you could be pro, dude. Like, in all, I think you could be a pro pet battler.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're calling me out about the.
They sure are. I'm looking at it right now.
So here's our DitchCon. I'm going to share that. We have 3 days to go. If you feel like you want to give a little bit to help us continue to reach our goal or pass the goal, whatever, feel free. If not, doesn't matter. If you're going to be in the Anaheim area, make sure you come and see us on Wednesday, November 2nd.
I even let my work know about it.
So
there's some people from my work that are going to go.
That's going to be embarrassing for you because we're going to be twerking and things.
I'm their superior, so I'm curious.
Nothing says respect me in the morning. Like, I don't. Oh, you don't.
I'll wear my fucking vest.
It doesn't even matter.
There you go. Rep that yellow.
I'll be in a different country, so it's not like I got much to worry about.
There you go.
I mean, there is that zip code rule, and I'm pretty sure that means country as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna let's just talk about what we've been wanting to talk about since the show started, right? You know, there's a moment when you wake up in the morning and you get on your computer to do your normal stuff. You log in Zoom with your friends, and then you get a tweet. And this tweet is from Spanky. Richard is his name. He watches the show.
Nice guy.
Great guy. I met him through Lita, and I
Big fan.
love Lita. Lita's our other Australian, and she's lovely. And you get a tweet that says, "Congratulations on making it big time." And I'm thinking, what the fuck is he talking about? Where have we made it?
Someone woke up this morning and did a bit of these ones.
Right? So I click the link. I scroll. My eyes don't understand what I'm looking at. I literally have no concept of what's happening right now. So I start freaking out. I'm panicking. I'm like, tell me this is true. I don't understand what's happening. And my husband thinks something's wrong. And he's like, Hunter, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know yet. So I go there. I look. I don't know. I'm going to link it here. And then I wish I would have had the good sense to put that screenshot up here so I could show you. But I'm going to put the link here. If you watch the show on iTunes or you watch it on YouTube, make sure you click in the comments because the link will be here. It'll also be right here. So in case you guys didn't know, we're kind of...
Jim is doing the Vogue there.
We're kind of a big deal now. Blizzard has officially acknowledged who we are by putting us in their podcast list on their every month. Every month they update, and sometimes they feature the same podcast twice, but it's usually the instance, and I just think that's just because it's the instance. But imagine us seeing our names here. Now here's what's so great about this. A couple months ago I posted on my personal Facebook, and I said, this is a goal of mine. I want to see us here. I never thought that would actually be a thing. In my head, that was something that was never going to be a thing to me. So then I see this and I'm like, holy shit. Somebody has paid attention. Somebody has paid attention somewhere. That means we're doing the right thing. The group as a whole, we have a staff of, I think we're at 27 people. We have a staff of 27 people across PWNCAST Daily Quest, across the cast, across the admins. We have a lot of things that we do. And I don't think everybody org-wide kind of understood that because everybody's like, oh, congratulations, you guys. Even our writers, our admins were like, congratulations, you guys. I'm like, no. This is everybody here. This is the whole group. This isn't just one set of individuals because we have the PWNCAST Daily Quest, which is literally pumping out information on the daily. So,
good looking site.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and it
why,
looks great on the mobile app.
Doesn't it look great?
Yeah, when you showed it to me initially, I was like, I actually use it because I like the whole interface.
Yeah, I don't want to toot my own horn, but me and my IT guy, which is Chris, which is Ella's husband, we really did a good job. But, see, he took the picture. So those of you, now you guys have that picture. So what does this really mean? Some of you guys are probably like, I don't really know what this means. My daughter knew what it meant. My 15-year-old. She was like, Mom, that's the official website for your game. And I'm like, I know.
Mm-hmm. She's going to start playing now.
Like, I know, I'm aware. And she's like, you're like the coolest mom ever.
Can I have a spot on the show?
Basically. But really, at the end of the day, this doesn't mean we're the best in the world. That's not what this means. This just means...
yeah, it does.
But this means that we're being acknowledged for the work that we do, so we are making a difference. And I'm going to tell you how I know we're making a difference.
Because we're doing it in the correct stages.
Well, and because we're not doing it for the wrong reasons either. I happen to believe that when you're pure of heart, when you're involved in the community and you really do it because you love the community, I feel like it takes you in a different direction, right? And I feel like people feel that. I'm sure all of you that listen and watch, you guys probably feel that we really care. We're really not just here because we have nothing better to do. I promise we have stuff better to do. We all have lives, but we really don't, though. This is kind of what we've all chosen as our life. So I got an email in light of that. I got an email from a person named V, and it's V the Bear Tank.
Ooh.
Now, he's been watching for quite some time, and there was this big, beautiful email, which if you're listening and watching, I have not forgotten about you. I'm in the middle of drafting up a response to your email, but I'm not going to read the whole email because it was a really long email, but it was a lovely email. And one of the things that she said is I want to thank you for doing what you guys do. You guys have changed my whole outlook. So she was an elitist. She was in an elitist guild. They did all these grinding things and all these things. So now their mindset is still having that, but duality here. The concept of being able to push here, but also to teach here and to find new ways of being involved and to bring new people. So the context of the email was just, she said, I thought you were just going to be another pink-haired gamer girl. It's around that what she said. I'm not going to say any names here, but that's what she said. And then she said, I was pleasantly surprised when you're an actual normal female and every male on the show is not a dick, right? You guys are we're dicks. Don't, please.
It takes 12 wipes on Iskar before I turn into an asshole, so.
but it was important, and I wanted to make sure that I acknowledged her email because it was in the same time frame as this happening, and I really just wanted to thank everybody. I wanted to thank everybody for listening. I wanted to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank everybody that works with us every day to do things. I just truly and genuinely am so blessed that we get to do this.
Hear a little bit of a quiver in your voice.
No, I cried
Tears
that
about to
day it
shed.
happened.
She got it.
I did cry because it's very emotional as somebody who, when you content create like that, then to be acknowledged by the game, that was a really, really big deal. So hopefully this is just the start of things with us being able to have a larger voice to be able to reach more people, which essentially is the only reason we even care about any of that, is being able to connect with more people. So hopefully.
And what was the quote, Belle, for the PWNCAST? What was the little quote from the show did they leave there on the website?
Oh, the for the players, by the players. Was that not
Absolutely.
awesome that they included that? Somebody did
very
their
good.
homework, and I'm going to venture to say that it's probably true that somebody maybe from Blizzard might enjoy watching us on occasion. I hope so. If you do,
That'd
I'm
be cool.
sorry I made fun of you for being on a budget and not having toilet paper. That was like episode 33.
And actually, it looked like we were on a budget with no toilet paper.
I know, those episodes are so bad. But I wanted to just take a second to acknowledge.
It only gets better.
And I wanted to acknowledge that was a huge feat of strength for us, an achievement unlocked. And this does not mean that we stop or we continue down a path. That means you set another goal. So internally, I have set another goal for PWNCAST. I have not set it to anybody outside of PWNCAST, but I have set another goal for us.
You should have Ella make an achievement like in the game, where
that's a
it
good
would
idea.
show, when we got it and
You're
stuff
right,
like that.
You're right. We did get people. We got people.
Things
that-
will only change after we
course.
get invited to the next black carpet premiere, and then I get really, really drunk and make a trash bag of
They
myself.
can't have me on the black carpet anywhere. Number one, I won't wear a dress. And number two...
You don't have a choice anymore. That's
Number-
over.
That's right.
Well,
What?
okay.
You're not wearing dresses?
That's different. That's because I have no choice. But
That one's
Yeah.
no choice either.
I'm going to have to
Yeah.
wear a fucking pantsuit, guys. Can you imagine me in a dress?
I
on
was
the red
also
carpet?
I didn't want to interrupt. I said, and if you're also into pink-haired gamer girls, tune into Belle's stream, whatever date she set. So you'll
So
get to see it.
it's honestly, it'll be soon because I was waiting for the DitchCon. I was waiting for
Yeah.
the Kickstarter to complete before
Right.
I picked my dress. So
Exciting stuff.
You're not Hillary Clinton, so
Yeah,
you
see-
cannot wear.
see-
Nope.
So,
Stone's
it's
getting
a-
upset there. He's worried that you're going to back out
No,
and
no,
renege on
you
your
don't have
dress
to
wearing
worry.
breakfast.
A deal
We
is a
got you,
deal.
Stone.
A deal is a deal. I don't back out of anything. A deal is a freaking
That's
deal.
all right.
For those
That's
of you
what we
who back
need.
the 300 and have to pick a song for me, I'm going to go buy a tank of helium and I'm going to fashion a straw to the helium so that I don't have to do a balloon. I'm going to do this really right, guys. It's going to be
There you
great.
go.
But I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledge that. And it only means that we are doing something right and that we'll be able to have the means to be able to reach more people. So that's something that I'm excited about. We don't make no money here, guys. We don't make no money. We're
Nope,
not
I
in
go to
this.
work.
We're not in. We all have jobs. Like literally, we're not in this for any other purpose other than to entertain and connect, and that's just part of that. So let's talk about some great topics that we have going on. Did anybody see the free online
Movie?
comic they have? They had Legion #1, Magni
I-
Fault Lines. Anybody?
I've
get
seen
to
it,
check
but I haven't had a chance to even look at it.
Ooh, I did not see it. Tell us all about
It's
it.
pretty nice. Don't try to throw me under the bus, sucker.
Mm-mm.
It's.
I haven't seen it. I get
You
all my
haven't
news.
seen it
on-
anywhere?
Well, no.
Or
It's
in
like
the show
before-
notes? So
No,
it's
I've been
you can
playing
download
beta.
it. It's on PDF. You can go ahead and download it. We did cover it on the PDQ, so you'll see that there. So basically, it was written by Matt Burns, and I like the fact that they're doing free, and let me tell you why. Because they're smart. Blizzard is smart as a business because it gets more people into different avenues and different aspects, right? This is just another thing that they've had. So I'm going to read the little description they have. It's been 4 years since the Dwarf King. Let me try that again, shall we?
Yep.
The
Come on, Dominic.
Dwarf
Let's do
King
this.
Magni Bronzebeard was cursed as he sought to protect his world, frozen as a solid diamond statue at the center of Old Ironforge. In our new Legion digital comic Fault Lines, he emerges from his crystal slumber with dire warning of dark times to come. But will his daughter, Moira, maybe, be able to set aside the pain of her past to forgive Magni and help unite her people? So, Matt Burns, he's the senior writer on Blizzard's entertainment creative development. Like, he's like the creative genius, right? This is the guy that you you pay big money for his creativity. And this is just the first of the series of comics. Like I said, I love the fact that it's free. If you're usually nerd, gamer, and comic book are all synonymous with the same pool, like the same gene pool. So make sure you guys check it out if you hadn't had a chance to check it out. Like I said, we did cover it on the PDQ. But I like it. I'm super...
So it's strictly digital?
Strictly digital.
I hope they make it like, hard copy. I would love to have that.
I'm thinking that there's going to have to be a moment when they're going to need to. There's too many of us that are collectors for that to not really be a thing. We're really going to need to do that.
My understanding is they stopped making the comics a long time ago. They had massive series runs of them, of which all I got sitting in a box, and they just stopped making them. And
I used to have such a great Superman collection. Oh, I'm so old. But yeah, definitely, if you guys haven't had a chance to check that out, you definitely want to make sure that you check that out because it's super awesome. And it's comic books, guys. We're never going to go wrong here. It's just comic books. So we also did cover the Q&A with Holinka, which, in case you guys don't know who Holinka is, he's actually the senior designer when it comes to PvP. So Brian Holinka, he's the guy that when you have something to say, you go and say it about PvP. I met him last year. He was very, very kind to me. I knew he was on his way to do something else, and he didn't even care, went ahead and spoke to me anyway, didn't even mind.
Whole 15 seconds?
Yeah. And I was very aware that he was going from A to B, and I was trying not to be that guy, right? That guy that you're like trying to get them to go away and they're not picking up the signs. I was very aware of that, and I didn't want to be that guy. So I just said, can you please, my response to him, or my question was, listen, I'm a podcaster. You don't know me. I'm sure I'm not that important in your world. I just need you to leave destruction alone. Literally. If you could leave destruction alone, that would be great. He started laughing. And he's like, our focus isn't really destruction. I'm like, that's great. If you could just not touch destruction, we would be A-okay. So, and this was in regards to Legion because I needed to not be nerfed because I already dealt with my nerfs. But in this, I watched the Q&A actually 2 different times. And the reason I watched it twice is sometimes you don't really absorb all the information.
Right.
So a lot is changing in PvP, which actually, with the changes and with the stuff I've been going through in beta, it's likely that I'm outside of maybe raiding with the guild. I'm probably going to be strictly PvP this beginning of the expansion. A lot of you that PvP are probably really afraid for the changes. Make sure that you guys watch. Make sure you guys watch the Q&A just so that you can be really informed about it, and try not to listen to other people as far as what they like. Oh, it's going to ruin WoW. I've had a lot of my PvP friends say, oh, WoW PvP is going to die. I promise you that's not their intention, because their intention is to do esports. So they're not going to let something die where that's going to be their moneymaker when it comes to esports. So you don't have to worry about that. But let's talk about some of the things in the interview that they talked about. So they are still tuning. So if you're in PTR or if you're in beta, there's a class that's overpowered, or there's, something that's happening. I think
that always happens. So
rogues last week were one-shotting people in Battlegrounds.
In Legion, Ret Pallies were 3-shotting people. So I mean, in Lich King. Sorry.
Yeah. So they're actively balancing and tuning. Now, we talked a little bit a couple weeks ago. There's never going to be a balance, guys. If you're looking for that balance in PvP, that balance that you're looking for doesn't exist, because it's a myth. The balance you're looking for is, yes, you want all things to be equally powerful. There can't be equal power. There has to be something a little bit better, because otherwise there's no give and take. There's no push and pull. If everybody's the same, yes, you're relying on skill and all of that, but there has to be that go-to, right? There has to be that spec where that's going to be the spec. For me, it's Affliction. They all roll Affliction they make you go Affliction for you to be pro. Me and Van Ruby talked about that. I'm like, that's why I'm not pro, because I refuse to play Affliction. But
have you ever tried it?
I have.
For like what, 2 levels?
No, I didn't try it for 2 levels, jackass. I actually tried it in PvP.
Whoa, he's just asking.
No,
he's trolling.
No.
He's trolling. Do not
liking and fries.
I'm gonna level the lock and go straight Affliction.
No, he's trolling me, and you're aiding and abetting him right now.
Secret sauce never troll you.
Semi-pro.
I have a lock. It's Affliction.
Everyone else.
It's just sitting there.
And somebody said to me on Twitter, they're like, why do you hate Affliction? It's not that I hate Affliction. It's that I got told an entire expansion I needed to be Affliction to be viable. The word fucking viable makes me want to set fire to something. I got told I'm not viable as Destruction.
You're not.
That's weird, because I was rated on RBGs every single season. Now, you all know how I feel about RBGs. There's 9 other people helping you get that rating. So I'm not saying I'm that great, right? It's not that big of a feat to accomplish to be rated in RBGs because you have 9 other people assisting you with that rating.
Right.
It's not like 3s where there's just 2 people. So if you have that rating, you really earn that rating, right? Your 2s and your 3s, you really had to earn that rating because there's just a couple of you. But I got told it wasn't a viable thing. And that's really what I had to understand when it comes to the go-to specs for PvP. I didn't get what was going on. I didn't understand that is just the spec for PvP. That's the spec. Everybody knows Affliction's the spec for Warlocks. Everybody knows Arcane isn't really played in PvP, although it is in Legion. It's actually quite nice in Legion. But we're going to be retraining a lot of things as all the class changes come out and people start figuring out what they're doing. We never know. Demonology might be the next big thing in PvP. It's just accepting that and understanding if you want to be that next big thing, then you're going to have to continue doing what everybody else does, and that's roll the flavor
grind
of
it
the
out.
week. And roll the flavor of the week. And if
it's not the class, at least you've got a badass artifact weapon.
Oh, it's so nice. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. It's so nice. So in regards to balancing, he did say that that's what they're focusing on, right? They're focusing on that. They talked about their PvP templates activation, right? I don't know if anybody else caught or paid attention to that. They talked about how it's going to be a lot easier for them to balance after launch and throughout because they now have these multipliers, and these multipliers, they just add a number and they don't necessarily have to wait for a hot fix. It's something that they could do quickly and with ease to be able to change and rearrange and fix things. So I think that they've been working on this kind of new way of updating when it comes to PvP, because last expansion we dealt with when they nerfed something in PvP, it affected PvE gameplay. So now they've completely pulled that apart and separated it and made it really easy where they just go in and add a freaking number.
That's good.
And boom, it's fixed without having to do these big, huge, make QA test it for 3 weeks and all that other stuff. So they did talk about the ways that they're making it streamlined to be able to fix that. He also made several Ashran jokes. I don't know if any of you ever caught that, but they did make several. He did make several Ashran jokes, which it makes me sad because I know that they really liked it. So I get really, really sad when he makes jokes about that because Ashran is death.
Love the Ashran.
I enjoyed it initially.
Well, I think we all did. We were all like in that.
It's the
high
concept.
It was new.
It's
yeah.
amazing having big battles like that. That's why Tolbrad and Wintergrass were so fun, because of massive battles.
I enjoyed it a lot more once I got my Warlord title, knowing that I'd never have to go back there.
He alluded to one of our old favorites being revamped, and I was thinking South Shore, Torrin Mill. He did say one of our favorites is in process of being revamped. That was all he would give us as far as that goes. So it's like, Now they did ask him outright, what about Battlegrounds? When are we going to get some new Battlegrounds? He did talk about the reason they've ignored the Battlegrounds isn't because they just chose not to. They're already flooded with so many Battlegrounds. There's so many options already that they talked about possibly getting rid of some of the less desirable ones.
Yes.
And the ones that everybody automatically leaves off because they don't want to deal with it, and then making room to bring in the new ones. Now, for me, I fucking hate Strain of the Ancients. Whenever we get Strain of the Ancients, I'm literally like, who queued? Who didn't uncheck it? I hate Strand of the Ancients.
Why, it's so easy.
Yeah,
the reason I hate Strand of the Ancients is because it really does require team week from a random group and teamwork, It requires that teamwork in order for that to be a thing. When you're dealing with randoms, this isn't an insult on anybody queuing, but gosh darn if I don't know sometimes if we're getting the right pickings or if we're getting the bottom of the barrel when you're queuing, right? You just don't know. Some people,
look at you controlling your swear words like a champ for once.
I know.
Gosh darn it!
Her and I have went through serious media training over the last
He's teaching me
week.
how to
Anger
balance
management
the
classes or
F words.
something?
He's just teaching me how to balance.
No. She definitely has not gone through anger management. You should have heard her in a dungeon earlier with remedies.
Shut up. I know
you were able to turn it around. It was fun near the end, but you were a little frustrated.
I'm going to have to put the swear jar back on the table.
But I think we can all agree that there needs to be some life breathed in. The 2 new arenas, which I'm actually going to showcase. Now I'm 110 on Bell and Beta. So I did do what I said I wasn't going to do, and I leveled. The reason I leveled is strictly for you guys in the PDQ, because I needed to be able to do max level content for
You're evolving.
videos.
We're so
There you
proud
go.
of
Good
you.
job.
Well, I needed to be able to do the high level dungeons and the rating so that I could capture that video for YouTube so that people kind of have an idea of what they're stepping into for raids, which will only help writers also in that endeavor. But so I did level her, and I do plan on going and checking out the arenas for those of you that are PvPers to give you an in-depth look at what those arenas look like. But he did talk about their main goal is going to be new life, breathing new life. The gear.
Well, they have to. They have no choice.
It's old, man. It's so old.
Well, that's why I'm saying the reason why I don't listen to people about complaining about the game because it's so ridiculous. If people are passionately saying it's gonna die this expansion, they haven't been paying attention because it was dead last expansion.
They're
You
the
mean
ones
we
that are
hope they can
passionately
revive it?
playing freaking Battlefield.
Or just being very grumpy people in the old battlegrounds.
Okay.
That's why I just don't pay attention because the lack of content to me, it kind of died a little bit with that. So hopefully they can revive it with the new talent system
Agreed.
and all the stuff.
And I'm really excited to grind for that. I realize that sacrifices are going to be made. I will be doing a PvP video this week explaining exactly what we're going to be looking at when we step in as PvP, what our goals are going to be, how things work. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do some example prestiging to show you how it works. I'm going to be doing that in the next couple days, but they're completely redoing the system. So when you're redoing the system, you can't approach it in any manner that you know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We have no idea. We all thought WOD was going to be amazing, and there was issues. Although I liked Warlords, I didn't have an issue with it.
I liked it.
Right.
Wasn't bad.
I didn't dislike it. So one of the things that he talked about, and it was in regards to tanking in PvP, which
What did he say about tanking and PvP?
they want this to be a thing. Blizzard wants tanks to be in PvP. Now comes the rant, and I'm going to tell you why. Because tanks don't belong in PvP. They don't. Unless you are a flag carrier, that is the only time it is okay for you to be a tank.
So
in
we
PvP.
can agree then. So they're needed, in my opinion, for RBGs, but they shouldn't be
and that
really
should be
for arenas.
minimal. That should be minimal. He wants,
right.
they're okay. They want to see tanks in arenas. Let me fucking catch a Blood Death Knight in arena and see what happens. Literally, I'll burn this entire bitch down. I am not dealing with tanks in PvP. Here's why. And keep in mind, I only mean this for arenas. I don't so much mean this for RBGs because it's needed. I am specifically talking about arenas. You know how asinine it is to have to deal with the tank in PvP? Literally, that's so not the
pain in
point.
the fucking ass.
It's literally not the point of PvP. Player versus player where you cannot kill the other player because he's a fucking tank is ridiculous. And the fact that you even want to make this a thing is insane. However, now comes first you saw the sour, now you see the sweet.
Breathe in, breathe in.
Here's what I do know. He did talk about the challenges of an understanding what tanks in PvP mean, especially when it comes to arenas. My thought process behind that means because they understand the challenges, perhaps they will come up with ways to make it where it's not what I'm used to when I've gone in arenas this would have been, I haven't arena'd all this expansion because reasons, but Miss Pandaria, whenever I would see a blood DK, I'm like, I fucking hate you, literally. And you couldn't kill them. But he did, because they understand those challenges. Now the sweet side of me says, I can be accepting to seeing tanks in arenas because Holinka's telling me they're going to make sure that they've dealt with that. They've dealt with the reasons why you don't want to see a tank in an arena. So if Holinka's giving me his word that that's going to be okay, I salute you, and I'm going to take you at your word. And if it doesn't happen,
But doesn't that defeat the purpose in being a tank in there, though?
No. I think
you can be a tank in PvP, and you're meant to not be able to die, and you're meant to absorb all this damage. But we're going to fix that, so you take damage and you die.
You're supposed to be able to die. The only time you're not supposed to be able to die is in PvE. Right? PvE is when you're not supposed to die. PvP, you should be able to, at some point, whether it's 20 people are on you, you should be able to die at some point.
If 20 people are on a tank, you're going to die.
So
that's 20, but it's really annoying in twos. So in twos, it's extra annoying. In threes, you should be able to CC the tank. The tank won't do as much damage. You should be able to kill the healer or kill the DPS. But if they're overpowered in a certain season, it needs to be adjusted so they are at least killable, or there should be a diminishing return of some sort.
He talked about making up for the fact that it's not PvE. You want your tank to live in PvE, right? Because that's important. When your tank dies, you're fucked. So you want your tank to live in PvE. PvP, you want them to live a little bit more than your DPS and your heals, but not where if you queue up and you see your tank is on the opposing team, you're just like, fuck it, I'm out. Like, I'm not even going to waste my time doing this, because what's the point? So if he's saying that they're going to come up with creative ways to be able to balance that, where you get the tankiness without not being able to kill you, I'm going to give you I don't know what's happening. I'm scared to look at the chat because I wonder how many people I offended. The offending will only come on the channel when people are like, "Hey, I'm a tank." I mean, of course you are, Precious. But I do mean arenas.
Okay, now you.
So invincible in the game. So
I do mean arenas only, though. You do see it on flag carrying maps. Typically, your tanks are the flag carriers. So I'm not talking or your cart carriers, right? Your cart carriers also, you will see them. What is it?
And as much fun as it is to center you out and laugh if you're strong opinionated on something, but I think most of the people would agree with you actually as far as that goes.
Just in arenas, though, right? Yeah. So, somebody had messaged me a while back. I said, if you're a tank in PvP, you're an asshole.
Yeah, didn't you get it?
They sent me an email.
Yeah.
Said, I am a tank in PvP, and I am in fact not an asshole. And I'm like, well,
I'm a nice guy. I do 10 hours a week of community service for charity work, and
There you go.
Stone, you can be a blood DK. You don't. Well, you do PvP because you like to go and kill the things on Timeless Isle. So he's right. But with that, and he openly acknowledged that they want, and I think the reason they want tanks to be a thing is because of vengeance.
Right.
Vengeance Demon Hunters. I do think that they are wanting people to be able to play that, and because there's only 2 specs for Demon Hunters, you only have 2 choices, I think, and maybe enough people bitch that, oh, people don't like us because we're tanks, whatever. If they're going to balance it, I think that's great. So
I'd like to see more tanks in PvP. Just flood arenas, flood battlegrounds with tanks. Keep an eye out for Belle. Just make sure you go say hi.
A 4-tank
heal
heal
really hard
comp.
for her to win.
And he did say we do want a tank in rated BGs for sure. So do I. We've had Brutum, when she was DK, we had her blood when we were on flag carrying maps. So I totally agree with that. It's really just the 3s and the 2s that I'm cut. Now, a secret. We talked about them removing 5s in Legion, right? Although there's not a whole lot I can say on the subject, it's for a purpose. This has nothing to do with the Q&A. This has to do with just things. It was for a purpose.
Oh, you've changed ever since you got notice on the website. Come on, are you home? Look at you, secret information.
So those of you that are frustrated about 5s, it's gonna be okay. It's for a reason. It's gonna be.
I thought they'd do something. I mean, I know you're not gonna let it slip or tell us, but
and it's not. It might not be even at launch because it's in development, but it's going to be fine. They don't ever take something without giving something back. So have faith that there are things working in the dark forces in Gul'dan's den.
Gul'dan's den right there.
He agrees that you should not be a tank in arenas.
Look, he is just upset because he's just realised that he has to wait about 10 years before he can get in there as a tank to annoy you. That's all that's going on there. Nothing else.
So funny. What else did he say?
Timing.
Reliance on burst cooldown. We wanted people to feel scary, but on the other hand, we also like sustained pressure. The game only mattering with those cooldowns isn't great. So now with more granular tuning, we can get back to more sustain. The only reason I'm even highlighting this is because this is an example of them not really answering your question. I'm going to just do a little bit of a call out here. Sometimes they don't really know what to say, right? It's hard to not say anything, but you kind of have to give an answer.
In a roundabout way.
They don't really know what they're doing, guys. This is just their.
I think they're making it up as they go along.
I agree. But I think that I don't know. I'm sad that every man for himself is stun only, because the amount of times I use it to try to get out of a fear right now is ridiculous because I'm not used to the change. It is only stun for every man for himself. So if you're a human and you've kept that, it's only for stuns. So any other situation is not going to work for. But I've popped it. Yeah, I've popped it quite a few times in beta, and I'm like, it's not doing nothing, and then I'm like, because it's for stun.
Oh, see, I still get my news from PWNCAST. I don't have to. Yeah. It's like before I joined. Nice. I didn't know that.
So then he did talk about the subject of mobility, which I thought was an interesting subject. It says changes to mobility. Yeah, we delivered on a lot of fantasy, so that upped mobility a lot. This might make it so they do a little less damage. So yes, mobile classes will have damage be nerfed. So somebody had complained about somebody's mobility being better and then other mobility being not better, and this was in relation to melee. I don't know if you guys got the memo, but melee is supposed to be mobile. This is literally...
That's the reason why they're right there.
This is what melee is. Somebody, I don't remember what context it was in, but they were complaining specifically, and I want to say it's a DK just because everybody bitches about DKs, but they were complaining about their mobility, and then casters are not being mobile. We're casters. We are not supposed to be mobile. I dealt with a lot of mobile nerfs this last go round when they dealt with my Kill Jaden's Cunning, and I don't have my... Whatever, we're not going to talk about that, but... I chose a caster.
That'll be the outtake section of 45 minutes of ranting about that.
Yes. We're not going to talk about that. But I chose
$20
a caster.
in the swear jar.
I'm a caster. I'm not mobile. That's not what I'm built for. I'm not built for mobility. Jim is a tank right now. He's playing a tank, but that's probably not what he's going to play in Legion. But you're built for mobility. Secret, you play on your Paladin. That's what you are mobile. That's your job.
I'm better. Burst of light. We're get the hell out of there.
Class is overpowered because they're super mobile.
What about the shamans then?
Well, okay, enhancement is mobile. Elemental, you're sitting back with me. We're gonna just sit back here and pew pew from the distance.
Ancestral. Okay. Mobile as fuck. Might only be for 30 seconds, but it still counts. Helps if you remember to use it too. Someone had to remind me the other day. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. I can move while throwing lightning bolts.
AF.
Everyone's been going through their training.
I have to. I'm trying to really not pee myself.
This is the most PG-13 I've ever seen you guys, to be honest.
No, what is the deal? Like, the swear jar is literally empty.
It's scary. It's really scary. So PvP gear is only out of loot boxes. Can you clarify this system? So gear is now rewarded on a victory or a strong box. PvP gear has a chance, as every other Legion item does have a chance to be upgraded in item level. So you know how you get the little item upgraded when you loot it. So the only way you're going to be getting your gear is by looting it. You're not grinding for gear anymore. This is not a thing. Some people are really ticked off about it. I, for one, have a new focus, and it's not going to be on gear. I'm going to be focused on prestiging. I'm going to be focused on after my prestige and crying because I lost all my talents and I got to I got to start over.
Do it all over again.
Why do you want to have to grind for gear and prestige? So you want to worry about gear and worry about losing your talents when you prestige and grinding out your honor levels? Guys, help me help you because I don't understand. Here's the issue. You don't have to worry about your gear. It'll be given to you. It might take you a year to get your gear. Doesn't really matter. The way that they've scaled things with PvP, it's different numbers. It doesn't matter. Your gear isn't so much the focus anymore. It's not really the issue. Your weapon, your artifact power from your weapon, that's going to be huge because that's going to give you advantages over other people is the stats that you get off your artifact weapon. Your relic slots, which I did a really nice video on the YouTube channel if you want to go check that out, regarding how to manage your traits and relics and what you can do with them. Those kind of things are going to be where you can differentiate yourself from other people and you can put into your power. Naturally, you're going to have to do PvE stuff to be able to put in, to get the quality stuff. That's going to be natural through questing. Getting from 100 to 110, you're going to acquire... I mean, Jim,
everything.
We've been doing that all week. We've been in there doing it.
Learning.
My artifact's almost 800 item level already, my artifact weapon. So
nice.
And that was just questing. I barely maxed out today. It's not going to be that difficult. It's going to be difficult.
Which was amazingly smooth and fun. I know we're not talking about questing, but the zones and the way it flows is really good.
Me and you are going to talk about that later. We're going to give them a little bit of a clue of what we've been doing in there. I think it's important that when you're watching a lot of videos and you're dealing with a lot of he said, she said, and you're watching different content creators talk about Legion, or even if you're in it yourself, I think it's important that we realize that when we're dealing with something, we have a hand in how it's being dealt by making sure we're providing good feedback if we have beta, or making sure that we have a voice in the community on the forums. It's important. That's what they don't give us beta for no other reason other than for testing, for us to give back to and help them make the game better. So don't listen to other people and what they say. You don't even have to listen to me. However, you guys know I don't lie to you. If something sucks ass, I tell you it sucks ass. So I think you can pretty much take that opinion to the bank if I'm telling you something is good. But
do I have to put the button in the swear jar for saying it sucks twice, or fuck it, it's golden.
I'm here to cash my sucks ass check right here.
So one of the things that they talked about is incentives for doing rateds, since the main incentive is going to be your ladders, right? If I don't have a ladder, if I don't feel like being on the ladder, I don't give a shit about being on the ladder because I refuse to be Affliction, what is the incentive for me to be in an arena or for me to be in a rated battleground? The incentive is going to be your honor levels. Getting those points on a win for your honor to be able to distinguish yourself differently from someone else. If someone else has all their talents unlocked and I don't have any of my talents unlocked, I'm really going to feel that pain. I'm going to feel that maybe I should have ran an extra freaking battleground today because I just got hammered by somebody who has something better than me. Or maybe they prestiged. Then they start over with their talents. They just get stronger and stronger and stronger. Right. So you're outside of you need to do these things for gear, you also want to do it for your own personal goals that you have. You want to unlock your PvP weapon for the artifact view, you're going to have to PvP, you're going to have to prestige. The first one, you have to prestige level 2. So there's going to be some things that you're going to need to do. So if you're wondering what's the purpose if it's not to get conquest anymore, well, now you have a whole other driving force behind it, which is, like I said, I'm going to go through that whole video and break it down for those that maybe might not, just maybe they're missing the concept or they're not really sure. I'm going to show how you prestige, what happens when you do, what you lose, what you gain, and all that sort of thing. But it's going to be good. Talents will also activate in PvP situations. So your talents, as soon as you enter in a PvP situation, regardless of where the PvP is, your talents will activate, so you'll be able to use those talents in a PvP engagement. The templates, which is the stat change, I guess they said that's not going to be happening. Since the PvP stat templates up your item level, we don't want people running around hitting someone once every few seconds to up their power. So I think they're checking into it for duels, he said. They're trying to give, maybe not world PvP, but perhaps in a duel situation, since that's an interface they control, because it's I'm asking you to duel and you're responding to the duel. Right. I think code-wise they'll be able to make that template activate quite easily, but on a world PvP aspect, they don't want to make it. They just want you to be nerfed, kicked, shot at when you're trying to level. It's what I don't do PvP servers for that reason. So, and yes, he is Spank, you're right about that. No more queuing as healer and running around as DPS. So nice try. What you queue as is what you queue as. There's no swip swapping. There's no changing. So lots of good highlights that he talked about overall. Yeah, and I want to make sure, in case you guys didn't know, that the 2 new arenas were Black Rook Hold Arena and Ashamane's Fall, which they're both really, really great. And then, oh yeah, he said Nagrand Arena is also going to be getting a little bit of a facelift. Can
we queue for those now at 110 or
in beta? Yes, we sure can, sir.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I can take you through. Like. You'll really, really like it. So yeah, and as far as visual updates to the battlegrounds, it was a question that was asked. His explanation is, if we move a tree stump from here to here, you're so used to that tree stump in the battleground as being your line of sight, it's going to anger the sleeping.
Well, I don't buy that, though. Like you said, they'll make it.
Because I do, but if they revamped something like Warsong Gulch and they literally moved like a tree from one... They have to
stay true. Well, then don't move the tree similar. I know in Eye of the Storm, they changed it where instead of falling and half your team takes fall damage, they adjusted it, right? So they can. I think more people would be mad if they took Warsong Gulch out instead of just updated the graphics the same way.
So they want to update without visually freaking anybody out as far as changes. So they are taking that under consideration, and that I'm assuming will be a thing. They put a lot into the PvP. I think people think they don't really care or not consider. They have a whole freaking team for PvP, just like they do for PvE. They have a person who their job is to be head of the raid encounters. That person has a team of 7-8 people, and their job is to design raid encounters. There isn't 2 people in this whole company that's making the bits and pieces of the game. They literally have a team dedicated to each segment, and none of you shall meet. You all just stay in your own freaking bubbles. Cubicle. They were named most attractive company this year.
Well, there you go.
Did anybody see that? Blizzard?
Bunch of hotties. No, I didn't see that.
So, yeah. a lot of really good talk. You should really watch it for yourself if you're a PvPer. They've been having Q&As pretty much every week on a different. They did professions, which we already talked about the professions. But a lot of good stuff that they've been talking about. I'm not saying any of this is going to be wonderful, guys. I'm not going to presume to tell you it's going to be awesome. It's so amazing. I'm not going to even bother. I'm just going to tell you to keep an open mind, keep an open heart. We'll just deal with it as it goes. Looks like
it will be better this
doing the grand
expansion
finale
than last
now.
expansion.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. It will be way better this expansion. There's a lot more thought process and effort for sure.
Agree. I would never want to work for Blizzard. If I ever got a job offer for Blizzard, I would turn them down.
I had to turn them down when they asked. I was just so busy.
Yeah, I can imagine. The only reason that I would turn them down is because I like being in where we're at. I like being in the middle, in the thick of things. That's where I'm happy being. I don't want to be with all you guys over there. I want to be here on this side.
Is that so you can call them an asshole on this end and hug them on this end?
Yeah.
Well, because she can call them assholes and she can also call us assholes.
If they shared us and said we're one of their favorite podcasts, somebody somewhere has heard me probably say something and they realize, Bella has a good balance though. She loves us, then she hates us. It's just about being honest.
Either that or they miss specific episodes.
I know. But I didn't start the hashtag campaign on Twitter to destroy whatever because I was grumpy. That was not this girl right here. There was other people that were not involved in that set.
You other people.
I know. I'm not gonna call anybody out. So, with that being said, lots of good things. So, Legion soon. It's coming in August. I think we could probably bet in the next few weeks we'll be looking at maybe some pre-patch stuff. Maybe the 3rd or 4th week of July. It's not really.
Yeah, they won't commit to a date, eh?
They never do. The reason they never commit is because if something goes wrong and they're not ready, they don't like doing that. So, and they like people to wonder. They like that wondering factor. So people will stay sub just because they don't know when it's going to happen. But you should probably know by now, if you're a guild master or you're a guildee, your guild's going to probably start perking right back up here in the next 30 days. So make sure you're ready for that as a guild leader. Make sure you're doing what you need to do to prepare for everybody's arrival. I'm hiring massive amounts of officers because we're already 2 guilds. So it's time to make sure we are covered. Now,
someone at my work didn't even believe that. I had to show them.
They didn't?
Yeah, they're like, what?
Hate.
And I was like, look, here's the first one. We have over 1,000 people.
They're
like, what? I was like, yeah, so it's pretty cool.
I have a lot of child aggro right now, guys, so I'm going to apologize. I don't know if you can hear them.
They're all got the same issue.
And my spouse is over there, like he doesn't hear them, but it's whatever. We're just going to keep right on trucking.
Hi, Darknado.
Let's talk about Legion. And let's talk about, Jim and I have been in there. We did questing together. We were like,
which let me tell you, I was not sure how it was going to go.
Why would you say that, though? You said that earlier. Somebody was giving you the impression.
You know how men are. We overreact to what we think, and I thought maybe it was not going to be as an enjoyable experience. Maybe you and I would get lost. I'm not the smoothest quester myself. But the way everything was set up, we had no issues. We kind of just...
Here's the thing. I'm directionally challenged, okay? To know that I'm directionally challenged is to love me. I'm only directionally challenged in-game. If you can believe it, I drive myself around this state, and I actually know where I'm going, and I can actually tell you where to go. However, if you're relying on me...
Only because Google Maps tells you.
If you're... It's not Google Maps.
I'm onto you.
I love my GPS lady. My GPS lady's really nice. So, in-game, if you're asking me to take you somewhere, it's not going to happen. It's just... No. But I did quite well, and there were moments when I was the leader of the pack, so to speak. There was a few spots, but I want to talk about something really cool, and I want to show you guys this video. Now, this video isn't really a spoiler, so in one of my quests in Stormheim, I came across these dragon eggs. What I thought was weird about these dragon eggs is you could see through these dragon eggs. I haven't seen any of these eggs before in WoW. So if there's already eggs you can see through, where you can run up and look and see into the eggs and see stuff happening in there, then I must be playing a different game. But correct me if I'm wrong, none of the dragon eggs that are randomly in zones are moving on the inside, right? There's not
that I've ever seen.
That's what I thought. I just want to make sure that I'm not. So what I came across is these beautiful azure drake. Trying to think of the zone. Remedy will tell me what zone I was in. because I don't remember. But I wanted to show you guys this. Each week I try to pull a different something that I've seen that I'd like to show you, but I want to show you guys it is a little bit creepy. So if you don't want to see anything from Legion, then shut your eyes, but there's no spoilers, it's just freaking dragon eggs. So hold on, let's
Eyes
give
are
it a
shut.
look. Your eyes are shut. Let me turn the music
What came
down.
first? What came first, the dragon or the egg?
Is the music too loud? If it's loud, turn it down. I'm sorry.
Playing a video right now.
So do you guys see the dragon's moving inside the egg? I must have sat here and watched this dragon egg for like 30 minutes. Now in here there's these little imps, and they're called egg pilferers or something, and these little imps steal the eggs. And when I was in one of the caves, and I was looking, I actually took a video of the egg, and then I turned around and the egg was gone because the little imp took it, and I was like, oh, that little bastard. But isn't that so cool?
Yeah.
Your artifact weapon matches the eggs too. That's the first time I saw.
Yeah.
it
I did.
like
I
that.
changed the color to blue. Is that not so cool?
That's actually really neat.
I really, really liked. I liked the little nuances that they did, and that's part of what made me happy when it comes to things in Legion. I showed you guys the lightning video, the barrel ride down the mountain. So many little small nuances of things that they really take the time for. The dragon egg move, that literally, I was like, aliens. Literally, aliens. But it was just so cool.
Shit's about to go down.
Yeah. Don't say real life
That would
GPS.
add an unusual twist to Legion if you got too close to those eggs, and
And
then
it
like 3
exploded?
weeks later you had a chest burster.
Well, here's what I want to tell you. So I did 2 videos. I did one in the cave and one right outside the cave. I chose to show you guys the one outside the cave because the inside the cave was so blue. I wanted to make sure that you guys could really see the eggs. So when I got real close to the eggs, I was terrified that the egg was going to like come out and attack me. So right before I walked up to the first egg, when I seen it moving, I popped my blueberry because I was afraid
Oh,
that
wow.
it was going to like hop out.
Big chicken.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. And I was
You
I was
fraidy
solo at
cat.
that point, but so
Dishonor the Dead t-shirt.
I know that you, Bloke, I know that you and Sauce haven't had a chance to do a whole lot of beta stuff. As far as like serious things, that's been more for me. And
It glitched on me, so I said,
yeah,
fuck it.
I've been in beta every
I'm
day.
stuck in my garrison apparently. It's been
Well,
for 3 days.
Did you didn't move yourself to Stormwind first?
Nah, man, I hit the copy button and away we went. So I started a new character and so I've been dabbling in all the like absolute start zone area.
I said I didn't want to level Bell, but I wanted to level something that I knew, and I didn't want to deal with
Right.
playing another class. So I did level Bell. I maxed her out today. I want to be able to do the rest of the dungeon so I can do those videos, the raid videos, and I wanted to be able to really test the PvP on Bell versus doing it on the 110 server. I wanted to test it on my tune with my things so that I could
Right.
make sure that I had a solid grasp and be able to do more content. But one thing, while we were questing, me and Jim had a lot of questions while we were questing. We were like, well, where's this thing at? And there was not really a lot of not clear paths and a lot of confusion. Some stuff was in a cave or on top of a cave or whatever. So in light of that, I'm actually in the process of doing my own data mining per se. We don't data mine because quite frankly, we don't really know how. So until we can learn how to data mine, I'm logging every quest and taking screenshots of every quest. Literally.
There
I
you go.
spent
Dang.
all night last night, half the day today in Stormheim. I think I have 20 more quests in Stormheim and I'm done, and then that'll be ready.
Thrown back
so
to Thoughtbot days.
PDQ
Yep.
will log all of its quests. So for Legion, when you're ready, you'll be able to have all the Legion quests there with actual screenshots submitted by me.
That's
and
really
not,
cool.
Like Wowhead does all this, which is great, but they rely on users to submit stuff, which is fine. But now it'll be ready for Legion. So you guys just have a place to go to for Legion. And I've already done the legwork for you, taking the screenshots and giving you the coordinates of exactly where it's at instead of user input after the fact. So, but Jim, let's talk about questing. Tell me how you felt about going through the content without giving, of course, spoilers away. How does the progression feel to you? Tell me some of the things that you liked about it.
I really enjoyed the zones. I liked also that, we were 2 different levels, right? We were 2 levels apart. We didn't do any leveling or questing together, right? And I had cleared Azuna, and she had gone on to other zones. So we did have to find a zone where we both had never been, but we went right to the quest givers, and it just kind of flowed from there. So I really enjoyed that we were able to do two different levels and continue to level and start in the same zone. So I think that was a huge success on Blizzard's part, and they're only going to continue to execute that. We didn't do any dungeons together, but that's the great thing about dungeons as well. The first dungeon I queued into as a tank, I was level 102. My healer was level 101 and our DPS was 109, and it adjusts to the level that you are. So I thought the quests in every zone kind of flow together. You mentioned your favorite zone was High Mountain, and I did that at the start on my Hunter, and I didn't really get too far into it, but just before the show I was in High Mountain on my Monk, and there was just so many quests in a small area, and it all flowed nicely. So so far so good. I just really enjoyed the zones, the flowing, and how you and I could join forces and continue the story. So
I need directions, and he needs my chaos bolts. It was a nice offset. Essentially. I did too appreciate that. So when you're one of the issues when you are with friends and everybody's like, oh, let's all be pandas, and everybody rolls the same tune. 2 people a week later don't even log on, right? Or you always have to wait for that person because then it breaks the quest line and then you guys aren't all on the same quest. One of the things that has changed is the way that you level. So you can start on any map except for Suramar. I'm not saying it, Remedy, because I know he's expecting me to say it wrong. With the exception of there, you can go to your hall, and in your campaign manager, which I will have a video uploaded tonight of that. I did a nice little video on the campaign manager and its uses and the different things that you can do and how it's very different from your garrison, from what you're thinking. But you go scouting mission, so you scout for each map, and when you scout for each map you go to your flight path that takes you exactly where you need to be on that map to start your quest. So if you at level 100 decide you don't want to start with Azuna and you want to go to Val'sharah, you can go wherever the hell you want to go. There's no beginning map that you have to take. You can go wherever you want to go. Your first set of quests is going through your class hall, then your class hall scout board will let you go where you want to go. So me at level, I think I was like at level 105, and Donovan was Remedy was at level 109, maybe he was level 108. We both started, he came to where I was questing, picked right up the quests. My mobs were my level 105.
Right.
His mobs, his level. Like,
oh, that's kind of cool.
It's scaled to you, no matter what map you're on. A little bit different in the sense of if you're like me, you already know going from 1 to 100 now what maps you need to go to at what level, right? Like, we've been doing this so long, I already know that map here is X through X, and then I can move on to the next one. Here, you're really given control on where you want to go. And then we completed 2 maps before I even realized we had done all the quests. Keep in mind, I'm also not reading the quest, right? I'm not super immersion right now. I'm clicking.
That's the best part. I'm so sorry. When they read the quest to you, it all reads to you. That's the best.
And I have that not. I don't do sound in my gaming.
Oh, no.
I don't do sound. So, I have the sound.
You're losing out there, boss.
No, only for beta. I have sound going through a different channel to pick up for the video, so that I can still be on Zoom while I'm doing my videos with it not picking up. That's multitasking. I don't want you guys to hear that.
At its finest.
One thing that I did like about that is the I haven't been reading any quests. So the reason I haven't been reading the quests is because I'm choosing to ruin all the stuff by doing it on Bell, but I want to just, then on Bell I'll really take the time to be like, oh, okay, so this makes a lot of sense on why I did this here. So you can start anywhere with a friend, and then tomorrow, the next day, you can decide instead of leveling on Val'sharah, you want to go over to Azuna, you go to your hall, you scout for it, you go on over there with your buddy. You could be 3-4 different levels away, and it doesn't matter. You guys can all do the same quest. So feel free to start a new tune with your friend. Whatever, it doesn't matter, because you can all level, and then tomorrow when nobody logs on to that tune but you can continue to do your leveling and it not affect anybody at all. So I, too, enjoyed that aspect of questing, and I did also enjoy that it was difficult. I'm not going to lie. There were many deaths. Many deaths.
Like the graveyard one from last week?
Oh, man. Not as terrible, but there was many deaths along the way, meaning it was not a face roll. I didn't just face roll with Bell going through. Now, keep in mind, I'm suffering my blueberry's not as strong as my blueberry used to be. There was a slight nerf done to blueberry's tanking. Needed to be done, though, because literally blueberry was a one-man tank. I didn't need anything else.
Absolutely.
So
it's not a shot at your blueberry, though. It really depends on who you're playing with. You and I didn't really die at all. You're
but if I'm
Remedy,
solo,
you died. Oh, okay.
previous expansions, me solo, I could take anything on with my blueberry. That's not so much the case here. And that's okay. I'm not complaining about that because I like difficult. I like to struggle. I don't like fucking falling off mountains, and I'm not going to tell you I like that. That sucks. But I do like having to it not... Nobody wants it to be a face roll to level. That sucks, guys.
That was water right there.
Yeah. So it was a little bit more difficult. I do have favorite zones. I have High Mountain's just gorgeous. There's nothing to not like about High Mountain. Literally. Obviously, it's a hunter zone. Like, if you're a hunter, that's your map. That's your place to be. Val Shirar is going to be more for druids. You're a druid, it looks like the Dream Grove, which is the Druid Hall. The Druid Hall is located on that map anyway. But it's beautiful. Azuna, there are so many spots on Azuna that is so beautiful. Some of it's broken because the Legion invasion, right? Because the Legion destroys everything. But they did such a good job with these maps. And I said the same thing in Warlords. I loved the maps in Warlords. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the nuances that I've seen, even the water's different, right? Even the water looks different, which that's just them expanding their artistic capability when it comes to their graphics. But they've done a really, really solid thing with beta. I'm not unhappy with it at all. I'm pretty happy with it. So that's my expert beta opinion.
There you go.
I have lots of videos coming out on the channel that are highlighting small elements, and then the quest guide is a lot of time because I'm literally going through each quest and I'm logging it. I'm logging coordinates and I'm taking screenshots. I'm doing all of that by hand. So it's probably going to be a week or two before it's out, but it will be out before the expansion launches. So yeah, that's our little lots of stuff in beta, guys. Lots of things, lots of stuff. You don't
I was
have
saying
to...
too, it's the great things they added. People will take for granted. You know, we talk about who forces or says complaints, and I try not to pay attention to it because everything that's WoW's done, there's all these adjustments, and before you know it, we'll take that zone scaling and the dungeon scaling for granted and say what else. You know, we've got this real ID system where we can zone into other servers. And how amazing is that? I mean, I know that's been around forever, but we forget how fine-tuned Warcraft really is when we start making our complaints.
Actually, that's all just about to change as well.
You mean like for the worse or better?
No, for the better for sure. And the irony in it is, there's a little story here. Playing with a friend of mine who's on a North American server a couple of weeks back, and we would be in exactly the same area and couldn't see each other in the game because Oceanic and North American aren't compatible.
Right.
And we had a bit of a joke about it, and he actually works for Blizzard, and I said to him, I was like, you should go and have a talk to your bosses. This is bullshit. I want to be able to play with my friends regardless of where they are. Mm-hmm. So we had a bit of a chat on Facebook yesterday because he's quite smug about it. He's like, I didn't actually do it, but I'm going to claim it anyway. So what they're introducing, I think it was in either pre-patch or fairly soon, is they're opening that access to allow different servers and different servers regardless of
location. Oh, mic went out.
Your mic went out, but we know what you're saying because we can lip read.
Oh, you're kidding me? Did it drop out again?
It did.
It's okay.
So different servers, is it all servers? I'm not trying to play with...
Yeah. So North American and Oceanic, I'm not going to lie, they're the only two
just American and Oceanic.
To. No, there's a couple others. There was like four areas altogether that are going to be able to play all together.
That's actually really neat. So
there's only one specific part of the world I'd like to avoid. If we could avoid that, that'd be great. I'm not saying anything else beyond that. If you know me, you already know what part of the world I'm talking about. If you don't know me, well, that's your loss.
Wouldn't be the first time you've offended the other part of the Oceanic realm.
Talking about it. Stop it.
But no, that's good that they're doing that.
Yeah, so like it's only a little thing, but you know, overall it's a big thing.
So, yeah,
it's for granted.
Victory, so
I love how Remedy's the only one that knows me. He's the only one that knows me.
I figured it was that, but I didn't want to say it.
I figured it out. I just didn't want to say it.
I'm not going to say it either. I'm just going to let those in chat partake on that little nugget.
Stop the last time.
Also, for those of you that commented on last week's episode about fishing, I don't know how you guys love it, but I love that you commented about it and made me smile every time somebody was like, well, I love fishing. And I'm like, well, damn it. You guys went ahead and...
People just relaxing. Yeah. People relax and cast away.
Yeah, they're over there fishing and watching Netflix.
Is there a pet battle? Is there a gym segment today?
I wasn't going to do one. I think I can freestyle one.
Good. I mean, if you're feeling, if you want to talk about what you did outside of our leveling in beta or, whatever.
Don't insult me. My freestyle game is crazy, okay? I can freestyle anything,
Okay.
I'm just joking. Actually, I prepared something. Yeah. So I mentioned I don't have a lot of beta stuff for my segment because I mentioned last week that you have to naturally level up to 110 to be able to do all the pet battle dailies. So I experimented with the Dalaran tournament, which you can do on the level 110 PvP characters you make. So that's I just straight up power leveled. I started Friday on my monk. I'm at level 109. So next week we'll have all kinds of big news, not only for PDQ and Warcraft pet battles for videos, but I'll be able to talk a lot more to getting my pocket pet portal, Belle? So that's what we'll talk about next.
I was mature the first time you said it, but I can't.
You're very mature. You're so mature. You're so good. You're doing great. Keep up the good work.
I think I've seen that thing at Amazon.
You see that at Spencer's typically. There's a lot of places you see that thing, and it is portable, and it does
allow you to have 1,500 companion pets, of course, and that's amazing. So I'm going to just discuss a little bit more about buying and selling companion pets. Just because Jimma Banks is taking his foot off the gas pedal doesn't mean I have that drive and cruise control that can help you make your gold, right? So we'll start off maybe letting you know about some of the very simple things. How do you start buying and selling companion pets? You really need a little bit of a bankroll. You don't need hundreds of thousands of gold. 10,000 to 50,000 gold in between there's a good start because you don't want to go crazy. There's two ways to buy, really start off buying and selling companion pets. You either want to buy them yourself off the auction house and just flip them, or find specific pets and find out the drop rates, where they drop, and then when you finally get them and farm them, it's 100% profit. So there's two different ways you do that. You can do them both, actually. I prefer buying and selling. Jimma Banks doesn't really leave to do all these extra things. He's usually pet battling or sending his followers off, whatever, right? So you need a little bit of a bankroll, and you can start off with the little gains, like, start on maybe 2 servers or just your own server. For instance, on Argent Dawn, what I did was I looked and I saw all the garrison pets that you get from your garrison dailies, which I noticed the drop rates are not very good. I overestimated the drop rate at first. I'm like, oh, whatever. But on BlackRock, they dried up. So I was able to buy, 6 different companion pets from 100 to 200 gold, and I sell them on BlackRock for anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000. So to some, that's even more than like a small gain. I said start with the small gains, maybe a couple hundred. If you can buy a pet and make 1,000 gold off it, you're laughing. Now, right now as well, it's kind of the lower population of numbers, right? So right now is a good buyer's market. Not all of you have the luxury of buying companion pets and storing them, so that's not necessarily what I'm suggesting. But if you do kind of understand the market, or keep your eye on the market for a couple weeks, you'll get an understanding, and maybe you'll be able to score some pets and hang on to them for a while, or you'll be able to just buy them, flip them real quick, depending on the value, right? So start off with maybe the Garrison Pet Battle dailies, the pets from the Raiding with Leashes achievements. There's 3 achievements. People need those pets to get the achievements. And maybe you do as well, right? So you could even learn the pet, unlearn it, you still have credit for the achievement, sell it, because those pets you can get later on anyway, right? I'm a huge collector, but I'll always sell a pet if I know I can get it again later, right? So you don't have to worry about hanging on and, worrying about not getting a pet. Always look to see where these pets drop. When you're buying and selling companion pets, you want to know, where do they come from? Maybe how much have they been on the auction house for before, right? So you just take a look at the market, get used to it, worry about small gains, and you'll be able to make bigger gains in the future, right? So there's just a couple beginner tips for buying and selling companion pets, and next week we'll have more beta stuff, a lot more fun beta stuff. So
I have a question. So if you you multi-server stuff. So let's say you have a random, I think you said BlackRock, wherever you said. So if you have a tune that you go to a server where it makes more, you just have one tune with a ton of money on that other server? What is the...
Yeah, so that's what I did at first.
What purpose does that serve then? Exactly, to be able to buy more pets to send them to the... I guess I'm trying to... Is that the purpose?
Well, yeah, so when I first did it on Kirin Tour, before I met you friendly folks, I did that. I just started and tried it, and before you knew it, I had 500,000 gold on a level 1 toon. I'm like, well, because Kirin Tor was a seller's market. I was buying these pets on BlackRock, like the looking for raid pets. There's another thing to remember too. The amount of pets and the cost actually changes by seasons. You know, the raid pets from Mist of Pandaria, I was buying them for 5,000 gold, selling them on Kirin Tor for 10,000, going, I'm Jimma Banks. You know those pets sell for 50,000 gold plus now?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see them increasing. I actually kept seeing them drop on BlackRock. And you're right, Belle, it was kind of messed up because on BlackRock, I actually became broke. So I had like no gold on BlackRock. I have 500,000 gold on Kirin Tor. I got 2 guild banks full of pets. So eventually on Kirin Tor, the certain pets dropped. So I was able to spend all of that gold or a lot of the gold on pets. And yes, I did eventually bring them back to BlackRock, which was my main server. So you don't, when you're starting out, maybe that was a bad suggestion by myself, actually, start on your own server, pay attention. But by looking on 2 servers, or if you play it smart, you can see how prices of pets change from one server to another. Yeah, it's very up and down, right?
Yeah, you know,
and you could use the toon that's by himself on another server with all that gold to be able to buy things like mounts and stuff that are account wide.
That's exactly what I had to do.
I
did that. I actually leveled up a mage to 90 so I could buy I wanted to waste it on the Traveler Tundra's mount or whatever. But shoot, I was going to say something about Jakey. He was asking about pets or buying and selling. But yeah, you know, maybe start off, or excuse me, right. So and another thing, you know, there could be 4 pets on there for cheap. Well, I'll buy all 4 of them because I'm a dirty Jimma Banks. And then I'll put one of them up for double what I paid for one of them. And then if I sell one, you know, I kind of do that. So the reason why my business is so lucrative now is because I've been sitting on certain pets and I'm not rushing to go sell these pets because I know they're going to come up in value. You know, Lycan took a little shot at me for the Iron Starlets. I have, you know, over 200 of them. And he says maybe that didn't work out. Well, I can still make a couple hundred gold. And in the last week, I've seen them go up even 500 more gold, depending on the server. So it's about small gains. And if you're not sure how much a pet costs, don't pull the trigger. Look at it. Look where it drops from on warcraftpets.com, or come to the YouTube channel, PWNCAST, Warcraft Pet Battles, and just ask. Jimma Banks will answer all your questions. So don't make the mistake and drop 20k gold on a pet because you're not sure. You know what I mean?
Do your research, guys. Do your research. That was lovely.
Or ask the pros. Ask the pros on PWNCAST. Belle may have claimed we're not pros. We're pros.
I got yelled at. He told me to stop saying we're not pros. Apparently, when you get acknowledged by Blizzard, that means you're a pro. Hey, I'm in, guys. I'm in this pro scene.
It means you have to watch your language as well.
Yeah, we didn't actually do any media training. I think everyone just stepped up their games.
I'm trying to say fuck less and say fudge more. That was funny. You guys could laugh. Okay, so I did have some beta stuff to talk about, but to be perfectly honest, I'm going to save that for another session since we already talked a lot about beta today. Please be watching the YouTube channel, guys. I have been living in beta. So even if you guys have a beta key, I promise you do not live in there as much as I do and have not seen the things that I have seen or been the places that I have been. So for those of you who do not have access to beta, I'm very limited on my spoilers. I will usually say in a video if there's a possible spoiler. I don't do any quest videos. So there's and I haven't even been streaming. I haven't streamed on the channel this whole month because I've been playing beta on my stream nights, and I don't want to stream now I can stream now that I'm max level, but I didn't want to stream the questing because I didn't want to give anything away because a lot of
but that's fair though. I mean,
yeah, so if you guys have been looking for me and wondering why I haven't been streaming, it's because I've been leveling. But now that I'm not leveling, I'll actually be PvPing on my stream nights, so you guys will be able to see some beta PvP in action. But so I don't really have anything to say there. Let's just talk about our week in WoW, and then we're going to do the giveaway. So if your friends have left and they told you to tell them when I'm going to be doing the giveaway so they can come back in and be in chat, you can tell them that's going to be shortly.
Don't do it. Let's make it smaller.
On Facebook.
Huge bloke, what did you do this week? Was there any WoW with the little one? I think I saw the little one here, and you were doing.
I've mastered the art of get the lean back going, and because he's still in little frog boy mode, he sits right here and keeps me warm because it's winter here at the moment. It's freezing cold. So I've got a little heater that fidgets around, and I sit there and do my mount runs. And
is it really considered winter there right now?
Yeah, you wouldn't pick it because I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. But yeah, no, it's pretty miserable outside.
Pretty sure he's
It's
not
only-
actually wearing shorts. For those interested, he probably is not, in fact, wearing pants.
I'm not actually wearing pants, but we're trying to be all PG-13. And
I told you even people at Blizzard don't wear pants sometimes, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, you're speaking to the people. I'm sure half the people watching right now are wearing no pants.
I'm sure Stone
Yeah,
has
but,
got
no,
no
it's-
pants on right now.
I've been doing much the same. For the little chances I've been getting to play while he's passed out on me is a little bit of archaeology, trying to finish that off. I only got a couple more to find. Still doing the mountain runs, which I'll probably keep doing anyway, even after I do get the mounts, because the amount of money I make from either selling transmogs or just vending all the shit, it's pretty decent money. So I'll keep that up at least for a little while. But outside of that, I haven't really done anything spectacular. I've sort of set myself that one or two last goals of trying to get the Vicious War Saddle from the arenas and rank 8 in Brawlers Guild, and I went from just starting this season's Brawlers Guild to rank 5, I think, in about 45 minutes, half an hour. So
It's not bad.
I was happy about that. I'll get back in there and finish that off that next week.
You're going Ellie, right?
That'll be about the whole of it. Sorry, Ellie. Yeah. It's the only way. mate.
Buy your
So
clock
that's-
on Pat?
That's the only true class and spec in WoD that really matters. None of those demonology fucking shenanigans. So anyway, it's been really good being on this show. Probably won't be either moving forward once Belle gets her hands on me.
Well, you're all the way in Australia, so I'll just leave that to the giant ass spiders you guys have there.
Drop bears and hoops next, mate.
Man, Gemma, what'd you do this week in World of Warcraft?
I went crazy for beta. I kind of ignored I said to you, actually, it's hard to balance real WoW and beta WoW, right? Because I still want to send my followers off and not ignore, real WoW. But I went crazy in beta. Last week I talked about playing my hunter first. No, I got to join the Riders Guild on beta, and I started the month. We do, and I started on Friday. I had to leave town for Saturday, but I went crazy. I'm level 109, I dinged before the show.
Ooh, nice.
And I'll be 110 tonight. So, lots of beta. Again, thanks for the access. I really appreciate it, and just really enjoying beta a lot more than I thought. Like I said, just the questing zones and getting the new companion pets through some of the questings. Just the regular quests just will give you pets, right? So just really enjoying what Legion is going to be. I think it's going to be a real good expansion.
Ooh, yeah. I know before I even asked Sauce, I know you work so much, and right now there's not a whole lot of your presence needed in game. But I thought I saw an inkling about possibly moving tunes. Did I see that?
So I was actually on this morning. Actually, got off of work, slept for a little bit. Actually, I was off yesterday. Did a bunch of stuff with the lady, and crashed out. Woke up at 2 a.m. and was like, why not get some more LFR gear on your Horde tune that you're never going to play? Went 0 for 13 in LFR again, which is, I don't understand it, but whatever. It is what it is. Got some more Valor, though. Yeah, Valor. Best stuff ever.
Go team.
Yeah. And, but yeah, so here's the thing. You guys all know I've been in Forgotten Prophets, my main guild, my main server for, the past however many years.
They're good people, those guys?
Yeah, they're great. We haven't heard a single thing in regards to pre-patch for Legion.
There's no prepping at all?
We have no. Everyone's
that's
living their
scary.
life. They're in swimming pools. They're on vacations. They're they're doing things, and I get
That's
it.
what it's like to not be.
Right. So currently, at the moment, we probably have a whole maybe 5 people in guild that are consistent, and so at the end of the day, I raid, and I will probably end up either A, staying if we really do raid and commit, or B, switching essentially probably my top 3 tunes over to
Ariana
Argentina.
AZ or Ariana's. I think I say AZ just because I live in Arizona.
It'd be secret. It'd be Ariana's, and it'd probably be my tank just in case we need a tank. But hopefully we don't, because hopefully your brother comes back and he can fill that void. And
I'm trying.
I'm trying
Local
to.
tank.
Who?
Bloke.
My brother, when my brother first started, he was the worst tank in the world. And then through coachings, he became a really, really excellent. My brother doesn't do a lot of things well, and everything he does irritates me, including breathing. But he is a great tank.
He is.
Yeah.
So that will probably be, those three will probably be my top ones. And I do have Uni by DPS on Argent. He's just hanging out, enhancement all the way, because we need an enhancement shaman, and then he.
And we didn't need an enhancement shaman.
We didn't need him anymore. We didn't need his DPS. So yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Give it a couple more weeks. I say by the end of July. If I haven't heard anything, it's probably just going to be a switch. So, Secret will actually be on Argent.
We'll be prepping I'm going to be releasing the applications for the PvP and the PvE stuff this week. I just need to finalize stuff, but for people so that you know what you're looking at for the guild. So if you are looking for raiding and you want to raid and you want to do all the things that you're supposed to do to be a really good raider, and you don't want to cry when your raid leader tells you that your DPS sucks. You just want to do what you want to do, and you want to have fun, and you want to eat some fucking tacos. Come see us.
You want to hear about it for the next 20 years when you raid in Argent tournament gear.
And now's the time to roll a tune on the server to find out if you even like it before you commit for raiding. But keep in mind, if you come over to join the raid team and you get booted off the raid team for whatever your reasons are, that is not my problem. I'm just throwing that out there in the interest of full disclosure. If you choose to come over to raid, that's your choice. That does not guarantee you any kind of spots. But we have casual and non-casual. So we have two different styles.
And even at the end of the day, if we have enough people to have a second progression team, that'd be great.
Money, right?
I'm pretty sure we're going to acquire some really good and talented, raid people that have been raided for years. We might even have acquired a new raid lead, an additional raid lead. That'd be fantastic as well. But, disappointment's going to happen, and that's just the nature of it. And, I give it my all. There are times where I fell, and, through you guys pumps me back up to keep encouraging the group to go on. And so if someone gets kicked from the group, and it's not even kicked, I ask people to leave. I'm not I'm just gonna remove you and be an asshole. It's not even like that.
And you give them steps. Here's things that are you're not doing that we've asked and that's still not happening. This is what I need
the biggest one was pre-pot. Not seeing people pre-pot, when we know we're gonna pop you right off the bat. You're just Belle, you.
I hate raiding.
Fucking never potted ever.
Here's the thing. I hate raiding. I only do it because I want to experience the content and then I want to move on. I don't want to raid. I hate raiding, but I'm going to do it this expansion, guys.
You don't need to maximize DPS.
I'm going to raid. I'm going to raid in the main team. If I make the main team, whatever, I'm going to raid, and I'm not worried about making the main team because the DPS is fucking unreal.
Pre-pods.
I fucking God, I swear.
Destruction's DPS right now is amazing. I'm not even
checking the logs and seeing all the people that didn't pre-pot and seeing her name is right at the top of it. It's that
didn't happen very often though, and a lot of times it was because I'm not going to throw any of our tanks under the bus. But when you don't pull on the number of 1, 2, 3, when you say you're going to pull, you pull when it says 2 instead of 1. You're a dick.
That wasn't fucking me, so...
No, it was not you.
Whatever.
We know who
Secret
it was.
Sauce, I want you to take notes, and I want you to call her out on the show.
No, we know who it was because another guildie, his name is Perp, he called him out, and there's this big fight in chat.
That was Council.
And I'm like, I can't even do anything because he's right. You pulled it too. And I was like, what?
No pre-pots were off. I think we ended up dying. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
We did. It was awful. Oh, it was so awful. So, well, we're excited about the things that are coming in Writer's Land. So if you're interested and you're looking for a new guild, guys, come and see me. Come send me an email. Let me know you're interested, and I'll point you in the right direction. But now is going to be the time because we are in full prep. So I'm doing all the background stuff, and we're going to be full prep come pre-patch to be doing big, ginormous, large. And if you just want to hang out and talk shit and chat, literally, it's just a good environment. We've built a nice little social family, a nice community at Writers. So
I think the only thing that I know you're doing a shout out for the guild, and that's great. and it's very positive. The only thing I would suggest is if you're brand new, be patient if you ask a question, because not everyone's actually at their computer.
For sure.
So if someone doesn't respond, don't hold it against the entire guild, because there are some really great people in guild throughout the course of the days, day or night. So just give it some time. Yeah. I myself, I even put it on the Facebook page. I don't really even exist in the guild right now because Amazon has taken my soul. So
and we're at the end of an expansion. It's not active.
Yeah.
It's not in its full capacity just yet. It's pretty active for a guild, to be honest, but it's not at its capacity.
Right. Yeah. So that's the only concern I have, is if you're brand new, you're switching servers, whatever the case is, just give writers a chance. As a roster, if you see 75 people on and someone doesn't respond, that's kind of like a dick move. So
if you see 75 people on and no one answers, just message Remedy and just keep messaging him until he responds. Because that's how it works for most people.
I'm bringing on more officers, so that shouldn't be necessarily an issue. So let me tell you what I did this week, Mom.
Yes.
I picture you like Kevin Hart. Let me tell you what I did.
I had regular WoW over here on this monitor, and I had beta over here on this monitor, so that the guild could see me on, and I could, because I forgot this whole last month I've been doing beta things. I completely was just like, well, the guild knows I'm doing beta, but because they don't physically see me there, they're missing that element. They don't have that. So there's somebody who is impersonating me in the guild. He's an officer. Eag's alt begins with Bell, and it's not me.
Oh, really?
So if you are ignored by this person, just know I don't play a mage. So when you see a mage on with the prefix Bell, that is not this bitch, because I don't play a mage. So that's not me at all in any way, shape, or form. But I told him he was going to have to change his name because there can only be one. But I just did a lot of beta coverage, and I'm going to continue to do that. And I don't feel bad for that, because this is going to help the guild out too, and anybody that's interested. All the stuff I'm doing now is for when it launches, so that people have a quest guide to go to and all that. And when we're in Legion and somebody says, hey, how do you do this? Guess what? I already know how to do it, because I've spent the last 3 months researching and making sure that I know what I'm doing to kind of ease my guildies transition and just ease the transition in general. When you decide to do this, sometimes you have to work hard. It's not always fun and games, and sometimes I don't get to do what I want to do, but I don't ever complain because I love it. So I literally love it. But I think it's about that time. I think we said we were going to give a thing away, and I noticed that chat increased, which means
did we get that puppy?
People are like, here's what you do when you're giving shit away at a show. You make them watch the whole show. It's like when you're waiting for like the one person at the concert, but you have to watch the whole pre-concert first. So, beta. Now keep in mind, I still have a couple keys I'm going to be giving away. I'm giving away one on our Facebook page, so make sure you go to the Facebook page and you comment. That's random. We have an add-on that does all that for me, picks the person that commented. And then I have one more to give away out of the batch I have, and then I'm waiting for my next batch, which is supposed to be a substantially larger amount of keys. Just waiting. I'll reach out tomorrow and get a confirmation on that. So, beta.
Is that a sorority?
Beta. Just reminded me, I've still got a couple of keys.
Beta.
Things to give away.
So, let's see what the keyword's going to be. Hold on. Let us see, shall we? Let me put this here. Let's see what I think our keyword should be.
Tri-tip.
Did you say tri-tip? That is not the keyword. That's so weird. Let's see. I think the keyword should be. Let the keyword just be PWNCAST. All lowercase. No capitals.
PWNCAST.
All lowercase. No capitals.
Jump man.
Type the word PWNCAST. Type the word PWNCAST. If you're a mod, I'm excluding you. FYI. If you are a mod, you are not included, because if you are a mod, you already have it. Well, actually, that's a lie.
Still throwing bacon in chat.
I'm going to have to include the mods, guys, because I forgot there might be.
Yeah, they don't all have it, so.
PWNCAST. PWNCAST.
Did we get that puppy from Jakey? I thought we were giving away a puppy.
I'm only seeing 17 entries, guys, so let's, I don't know why it's not showing stuff.
Next week we're giving away a puppy.
I'm watching it, so take one away.
The keyword is PWNCAST. PWNCAST.
All lowercase.
All lowercase. Out of 34 people, only 17 entries? What?
Well, minus the 4 of us because we're watching it. So.
Who are we missing? Anybody?
PWNCAST.
PWNCAST. It's for a beta key giveaway. Beta key. Legion beta key. Oh, yeah. A lot of you probably already have it. All right. We got 19.
19 problems with a bit chain one.
Whoa!
Can't even drink it legally.
I met a lot of Yanks over in Windsor.
Okay, I'm going to give 30 more seconds to double check and make sure. 30 more seconds. Then I'm going to click the button. Clicking all the buttons.
Manda button.
Dude.
Manda button. I love Manda button. PWNCAST in the chat if you want to be entered. PWNCAST. Are we ready?
Why not?
Are you ready?
I was going to say, we kind of need like Michael Buffer to do a guest appearance when we do these giveaways.
I need to make a drum roll thing so that I could put that in the sound when we don't really do giveaways very often. Why? Because we don't buy our love, guys. You just give it to us. Are you ready? I'm rolling. We're rolling.
I buy love.
Roll that shit.
Nova
footage.
Nova JW, you are the winner. Nova JW.
Congrats.
I won?
Nova JW, you are the winner. I don't know who Nova is.
Dinner.
Who is Nova?
He was a superhero from Marvel.
Nova rigged. Nova.
Here's the thing.
Does anybody know who Nova JW is?
Here's the thing.
Type in chat, Nova, if you exist. You do exist.
There
Nova, do we know you?
Nice. Maybe they're cool and they're from my Facebook.
Nova, do I know you on anything that you can contact me on privately? Who are you, Nova?
Call you on myself.
I'll post Bell's
He's a bot. He's a bot. It doesn't matter how many times. They only pick it up once. Okay, so I got your message. Now, how do I click on it? I don't understand this stupid...
Watch
okay,
your words.
so you've been watching. Okay, so Nova, can you follow me on Twitter so I can just DM it to you on Twitter? Because I don't know how to message you back on this stupid... Hold on.
Sounds so
So
gnarly.
I use the Twitter. There's a Twitter plugin for Chrome that does your giveaway for you, and I see their messages to me, but I can't send a message to them. Hold on. Maybe let me think outside the box here. Hold on.
PWNCAST.
Yeah, no shit. You could whisper them in Twitch.
I don't know how to work that, guys.
What?
Because
I
there's
just
a
clicked their
setting
name and I
that
just
hides
whispered
the
them.
whispers during the show. That's why.
Oh, that's why.
So
Fail.
Yeah, just hang. I don't have another to give away right this moment because it's already spoken for on a few other contests that we're giving away. But don't worry, it's going to be fine. Nova, you stay right here. Don't go anywhere. You just stay. It's not rigged. I swear there's no rigging of things. I don't even know who Nova is to rig. So there's no...
Don't acknowledge
Ginger,
Neil
you
for
just
that
keep
BS.
watching. You keep watching, dude. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm really gonna make it happen.
It
But
could be a lady with a beard.
it might be a lady. Nova, you stay right here, so don't go anywhere.
Sure.
I hate all of you. Some asshole on Twitter was being a dick, and he was like, "You gave it to your friend." You can blow me, Chunky. I don't give a
There goes
shit.
all our media training down the toilet. And
No, but like, gosh.
No,
the problem with things like this is when people are giving stuff away and you act like a chode, I'm not going to give you crap. Even if, let's say I do another contest and he wins it, I would never give it to him. I would tell him to blow me. Just
no, you don't say.
Oh my gosh.
I blocked him. He can't see anything, guys. Quit freaking out. It's going to be just fine. A couple of you probably seen that Twitter interaction and thought it was quite funny, but it is what it is. So, we will be doing another one. It's not going to be tonight, but be looking out. Bloke also has tons of crap to give away. Bloke, do you have crap you want to give away tonight, or are we saving that for another day?
He has noodles.
We can if we like. I've got a whole bowl of noodles here that are now rock cold, but I'm still going to eat them anyway. You people can help me eat those if you like. No, I got a... What have I got? I got a Jaina code for HOTS.
That's cool.
You
got a Heroes of the Storm Jaina code?
Yeah, Jaina. Yeah,
all right, hold on. I got to figure out how to work this stupid shit.
That's the one game that I'm sad I don't have enough time to play right now.
I would love to play HOTS again.
Okay, so what are we doing? You're doing, and nobody's going to be excluded. So what is this? This is for Heroes of the Storm, so we're going to do HOTS. Yes. HOTS, that's your keyword. HOTS to get a Jaina skin, right? I don't even like Jaina.
Jaina.
I was just going to say, Huge Bloke has trashed this lady over numerous episodes, and now he's giving her away like...
That's why.
I'm giving it away like she does.
Here's the thing.
Does nobody want the Jaina skin?
She's cracked up to be.
HOTS, HOTS. Anybody want the Jaina skin? HOTS. Comment in the chat, HOTS.
And my mate Dud he did just remind me. I do actually have. There you go, Dud. There's still some
I
more
have
there.
all those cups too. HOTS. Yes, Jaina is a slut. HOTS. 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 You got about 30 seconds. HOTS. 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 And then we're going to end because we're already over. HOTS.
Overtime.
Don't worry, Ginger. More beta access will be coming. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Make sure you are on our Facebook page to be paying attention for more giveaways. Also, if you go and comment on the pin post on the Facebook page is a current beta contest we are giving away. HOTS ready? I'm clicking. Here
we go.
We ready? HOTS.
Ready. Oh, shit.
Hey, it puts it in the chat, the winner. That's awesome.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's cool.
Did you just learn how to Twitch?
I didn't see I never see the output in chat when I'm doing it. I just see the winner on my screen. Cuz it's got like there's a little picture of his little icon and it says that he's the winner. Do you want to message the winner or whatever?
That's cool.
And then it gives you the option to like roll again.
I saw who just won that, so even I'm
Congratulations, big guy.
Sorry, I'm not that smart, guys. We don't do a lot of giveaways because we don't need to buy our love.
Yeah.
We don't
I do.
I will
use my cleavage.
Okay, that's all we have. Keep an eye out on all the things to get more access to beta. Also, thank you guys for following us on Twitter. Thank you for liking us on Facebook. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Thank you for giving this video a thumbs up.
Double.
Thank you for commenting. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for all that you guys do with us along for the ride. We are going to go ahead and get on out of here because it's a holiday and it doesn't really matter because I'm going to go back to doing PDQ things. Make sure you guys go to PWNCASTDailyQuest.com. We have branched out to the other games for news only, so feel free to take advantage of that and also our extensive Legion coverage. But we are going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you so much for giving us an hour and a half of your time every week. We are honored to be able to continue to entertain you. Until next time. No creepy things? Yeah. I was going to say Latris on the Menje, but I feel like nobody would get that. It's kind of our joke. It's like our thing. No?
Is it noodle time? Everybody went process.
I have not even eaten dinner. I totally forgot to eat. We were doing beta stuff before the show. I needed to get Max out.
Boom!
Those noodles look really good, actually. I feel like I want one.
Man, I was trying so hard. At one point, I was just like, fuck